We get to the root of congested traffic in the high country. Phil Lindeman with Krystal 93 News. Make no mistake, Colorado is the place to be right now. In the past 6 to 7 years, the state population has grown by at least 50,000 residents annually, including 100,000 residents from 2014 to 2015. By 2050, state officials predict the population will hit 8.5 million people. That's double the 2000 population of 4.3 million. The only state with faster growth right now is Utah, and their total population is about 3 million. And like any booming state, officials are now weighing serious decisions with sweeping impacts on local infrastructure. After a recent town hall meeting about population growth, state representatives ID'd 5 things Colorado must get right if it wants to grow, and grow well. Top of the list is traffic. The state is taking steps with the urban rail system out of Union Station, but other issues, like the proposed Hyperloop tube system, which could ease I-70 congestion by zooming passengers in super-fast tubes, are still decades in the making. Next is housing. The Denver market is volatile, and the mountain markets are no better. But even with record demand, the Denver Post reports that just 30,000 new units were built in 2016 across the state. That's half the number of new units built each year in the late 90s and early 2000s. Also looming ahead, water and nature preservation, an aging population, and a growing divide between urban life on the Front Range and traditional rural living in the mountains and western slope. Tune in all this week for Boomtown, a Krystal 93 series that looks at all 5 of these concerns through the eyes of Summit County. First in the Boomtown series, traffic. In Summit County, the Eisenhower Tunnel reigns supreme for local and tourist traffic. This August, the tunnel set a ton of all-time records, including most traffic ever in a single day, when nearly 54,700 cars passed through the tunnel on August 6th. But what about the other mountain arteries at Hoosier Pass, Fremont Pass, and Loveland Pass? With the exception of just one corridor between Kremling and Silverthorne, every major vein leading to Summit County is bursting. When combined, they're the reason traffic seems worse than ever before. First is Hoosier Pass, the southern connection to Fairplay and Buena Vista, and an alternate route for ski traffic on US 285. On one day in August 2014, more than 4,300 cars traveled north and south over Hoosier. That's an increase of about 400 cars since 2004. Then comes Fremont Pass between Copper and Leadville. Traffic there is also increasing, from 3,600 cars in July 2003 to nearly 5,100 cars in July 2013. That's a jump of almost 50% in 10 years. And then Loveland Pass. It saw the smallest rise, from 1,300 cars in July 2005 to 1,650 cars in August 2015. That leaves Highway 9 north of Silverthorne as the only main artery with no increase. From 2005 to 2015, traffic there in July dropped by about 300 cars. These mountain pass numbers aren't exactly apples to apples. Unlike the tunnel, where data is collected all day, every day, data at Fremont, Hoosier, and Loveland Pass is taken by hand every 4 or 5 years. CDOT collects all of the data. Tune in again tomorrow for the next piece in our Boomtown series, looking at the biggest man-made resource in Summit County, Lake Dillon. In sports, the Redskins play the 5-1 Eagles today on Monday Night Football. Kickoff is 6:30 p.m. on ESPN. Phil Lindeman with Krystal 93 News.